I'm Johnny B, and welcome to McKinney ISD Sports Talk as we take a look at the softball and baseball seasons, and we take a look at the McKinney Boyd Broncos. And great to be joined by softball coach Tara Sneed, baseball coach Brooke Court. Coach Sneed, we'll kind of start with you. You have such a tough district in 6A, and when you took a look at some of those teams like Flower Mound, Plano West, and Louisville, going into the season, what were your expectations in this district?
You know, with most of our preseason being rain or snowed out, we still expected to compete and make the playoffs for sure. And I can say as a team and a coaching staff, I think we're very disappointed that didn't happen.
Did you feel like the weather in some aspects it was tough on the team? You don't get an early rhythm, and for you as a coach, doesn't give you kind of an early read on the team?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we didn't have any time to get any kinks out. You know, we had to prepare both mentally and physically for district play right away. So that was definitely hindered our performances, I think. When
you have a tough season and you look back on it, what are some of the things you think that you've learned from the season, that the team has learned?
I think anytime you know, a season takes place, especially successful or not successful, there's things to be learned. And with our tough season, I think they just became more evident. I think we needed to, I think we learned that, you know, we got to take advantage of situations like leaving runners on base, you know, playing good defensively behind our pitchers and not making the errors. So I'm thinking that's going to be our focus next year.
And as you go into that next year, what are some of the things that you want your players working on in the off season so they can come back better? Because every year you're going to be staring at some pretty good competition.
Correct. Yeah, I'm hoping that this will leave a bitter taste in their mouth, and they're going to come back hungry and wanting to, you know, compete and, you know, doing everything they can, working hard to, you know, fight and, you know, compete again next year. So.
Thank you. Coach Court, you were kind of right on the cusp all that year, and a tough loss this week kind of put you out of playoff contention.
Yeah, it's been a tough district, tough year. Like Tara said, it's a very competitive district, and you got to show up and you got to play every day.
And with the weather, too, I guess for you, too, trying to get everybody into that rhythm. You got people playing other sports, and usually for a coach, I think you build on what you see early, saying we could do XXX. You really didn't get that, so you really just have to jump into your season and see where you go.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that the weather was what it was, but, you know, we got 6 games in before we started, but, you know, you'd like to get in that rhythm like you're talking about to see what you got and go in hot to district.
When you took a look back into football season, Grant Ressmeyer became a pretty good quarterback. He's been a pretty consistent pitcher for you this year.
Yeah, he's been good. Our pitching's been pretty good this year. Ressmeyer and Livingston have both been very consistent on the mound, and Webb through the bullpen. So.
Throughout the year, what did you like that you've done offensively and defensively that thinking maybe you can build on next year?
Defensively, we got a bunch of young guys in the lineup, and they played well. We made some errors here and there, but for the most part, we kept ourselves in games throughout. Offensively, you know, we played some good small ball, bunting and stuff like that. We just we weren't able to get the timely hit as we needed when we got bases loaded at first and third.
So when you look at the nucleus of what you have coming back next year, how do you think this team will fare with the amount of people you got coming back and maybe some folks moving up from the different levels?
Yeah, I expect them to come back and compete well within the district, and I expect them to have a little hunger in them for next season.
And hopefully get some sunshine early. That'll help both programs, huh?
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you, coaches, so much.
Thank you.
That's McKinney ISD Sports Talk as we look at the Broncos. When we come back, we'll talk with the Bulldogs of McKinney North.